Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play LOTRO with me, Balthelion. So last time we finally finished questing inside the Pit of Iron, and now we've come back outside and we've done all the landscape quests in the Gap of Rohan now. So we're all finished in the Isengard and the Heathels, unless I missed something, but I'm pretty sure I've done everything. So we're now back at Grimbold's camp, where we actually ended up advancing the epic quite a bit last time, until the last bit. I think it is the very last chapter of Volume 3, Book 5, where we're now going to participate in a series of battles. That's not battles in the epic battles sense or anything like that. It's just a series of solo instances we're going to be doing now, to basically tell of various things that Theodred's going to be up to. So we're going to speak to Grimbold and get through as many of these as we can in today's episode.
Prince Theodred's plans are set forth on the map table.
Prince Theodred's plans are set forth on the map table, Pendulous. Study them to acquaint yourself with them. We will begin at dawn on the 25th. We will strike Saruman hard and fast, and use his own caution against him. So long as he thinks his army is not ready to march, and must remain behind the walls of Isengard, it will be of no threat to Rohan. So we can get either an item experience rune, 83,700, or a legendary item title that we can put on a legendary item to give ourselves a little bonus. So what we've got? We've got Balthelion, damage type and a parry bonus. We have tactical mitigation and block. Or we have tactical mitigation and evade. And we always get a relic there as well. So we're going to have to examine the map table and complete the Daring Strike Dawn. So the map table is back in the lower part of camp, just over here on the eastern side. Well, we did have a brief look at this in a previous episode, where if we look at the map table, we can see that he has a map of the Gap of Rohan and a map of Isengard itself, and they're basically just planning their battles that they want to do next. You study the maps placed upon the table and consider Theodred's plan. First, he must determine what defences to leave at the fords of Isen, and then we'll ride north to Isengard with a host of riders. The attack will begin at dawn. So it's a solo quest. You cannot complete it in a fellowship, so you might need to ditch group
Dawn
if you're doing it in a
swiftly
group.
On the 25th of February, as my prince prepared to conduct his daring strike.
So we are now at the ford of Isen. I hope you have awakened refreshed, Pendulous. I doubt not this will be a long day. I have a few matters left undone which must be resolved, and then we will ride. I will need many men at my side at Isengard, but we must not leave the ford undefended. Who did you have in mind to command the riders we leave behind? Kada was my first choice. His brother Edwig already spoke to me, desiring a place in our host. Their mother is old, and if our attack on Isengard goes ill, I would not deprive her of both her sons. Come, Pendulous, we will tell Kinstan to deliver this message. My prince. So take a little wander. Prince Theodred, may fortune smile upon us this day. If it does not, we will make our own fortune, my friend. Kinstan, is everything all right? What are you looking for? My prince, it is nothing. I misplaced one of my braces, that is all. It will turn up, I am sure. I need you to cross the east bank with a message for Kada. Tell him he is to remain here with his men and hold the ford against whatever may come. You want him to stay here? I will tell him, but he will not like it. Kada is a man of Rohan, and will understand what is needed of him. I will not advance through the front gate to victory while leaving the postern gate open to the enemy. Someone must stay back to hold the ford in the event I have misjudged Saruman's mind. Theodred lowers his voice and addresses you quietly. You should go with Kinstan to deliver my words, Pendulous. He is untested by battle, and the men see him still as a green boy. Kada may be less bristly towards my esquire, if you are there as well. I need a word with Athelard before we go. He is not pleased at the quality of the spears we have, but it is too late to make more. They will have to suffice. Athelard, where are you? Tell me why these spears are unsatisfactory. So he's going to have a wander off then. So we can speak to Kinston. I hope you don't mind getting your feet wet, Pendulous. Caddo is on the east bank of the river, and the stones can be treacherous. I don't mind, because I can just mount up and get my horse's feet wet instead. This way! So we now cross over here then. You have been in some battles, Pendulous. Of course you have. May I ask you a question? You have come a long way from your homeland, Pendulous, and you have seen a great deal of danger. These battles in which you have fought, when you were embroiled in the thick of them, were you frightened? I cannot ask this of the men, they would think me a coward. But I am already frightened, and we have not yet begun to march. Well, I will be here with Theodred, and he has never known fear. I could not bear to bring shame upon my family or my prince. Thank you for listening, friend. I will follow your example and not give in to these doubts. Caddo, are you here? You are to remain here with your men to hold the ford. It is the will of the prince. I should not be left behind. My place is at the front of the column with my prince. Caddo's eyes flash angrily at you from beneath the rim of his helmet. Caddo's not wearing a helmet, I'm pretty sure. No, he's not. He's just wearing like a little... It's like a baseball cap without the front bit. Or whatever. I will do as I am commanded, but I wish it were not necessary. My men will hold the ford against whatever comes, as my prince desires. But I think we wait here uselessly while our brothers and our friends ride into battle against the armies of Saruman. I understand the need for it, but I chafe at that need, and do not want to sit here in idleness while Prince Theodred rides into danger. Gather to me, men of Rohan! So give a little speech. We have our orders, my friends, my brothers. Our prince rides forth to see the enemy with his own eyes. He leaves the defence of his home and his people in the hands of those he trusts. Our hands! We will not fail him! We will protect Rohan! Nay, we will not fail him. Let none pass into Rohan. We are the last defence of its people. He finished his little speech? Yes, that is all. You may go now, Pendulous. Thank you, sir. So, talk to Kinston again. I did tell the prince that Caddo would not be happy about staying here. You heard me tell him that. I'm going to stay here for a few minutes and see if I can find my missing bracer. You should cross the ford again and tell the prince that the ford will be defended while we are away. So, back across then, and let's see if Theodred has interrogated his man as to why the spears are subpar. Here they are over here. All is ready then? Caddo will hold the east bank of the ford with the men at his command, and the rest of us will ride north to Isengard. The Theodred will follow my lead, and Grimbold will dismount and command the foot as a separate unit if the terrain of the road warrants it. Athelard will call the mark for his archers. It will be some hours before we are in sight of Isengard. It is best we get started. Mount your steed, Pendulous, and talk to Grimbold. Let us ride together, Pendulous. Let us bring news of our defiance to Saruman himself.
Prince Theodred left riders at the ford of Isen to guard the passage into Rohan, and he went north with a second group to Isengard.
Okay, so now we've got the second half of this instance where we're riding up the road. It is a pleasant morning for riding, Pendulous. If it stays thus, we will be at Isengard by midday, and have brought Saruman to heel not long after. Let us catch up to the prince and get a good view of the road ahead. Ha! I ride very slowly though. Go on, Grimbold. You must be able to ride faster than this. I'll meet you there then. Come on, sir, in your own time. You're meant to be a man of Rohan. You should be able to competently ride your steed at speed. My prince! What is the word from ahead? We will know soon. I sent Hildred on to scout ahead. We're nearly there, Pendulous. I can smell the stench of Isengard even from here. Look, he returns to us. Prince Theodred! There are orcs and half-orcs outside the walls, but the number is not great. We have taken the wizard unawares. Perhaps. Do not celebrate yet, Hildred. The battle is still unfought. This news lightens my heart, but we must not forget that Saruman is devious. This strike will remind him we are not to be lightly set aside, and that he is not immune to attack. Any more than that is more than I expect. The dawn has passed. It will be midday when we move to the next stage of my plan. Ready yourself for what comes next, Pendulous. We have several hours' ride ahead of us, Pendulous, and then we will see if Saruman is prepared to face me in battle, or if he will cower behind his walls in perpetual caution. There we go, so that's the first part done. So now we need to complete the Daring Strike midday. You study the maps placed on the table and consider Theodred's plan. Once he has come within sight of Isengard, he will order his men to attack the orcs arrayed outside the walls. He thinks to arrive outside Isengard by midday. And once again, it's a solo quest, so you need to stay outside of a group.
Theodred came to the gates of Isengard by midday, and the Uruks arrayed before him readied for his assault. We lined up, ready to charge.
Okay, so Hildred spoke true. There are orcs outside the walls, but their numbers should not be a problem for us, Pendulous. Let us see what they think of my riders. Rohirrim! Our foes lie before us. See them assembled outside their walls. Sorry, I'm in your way there. I'll step back. Grimbold, have your archers send our greeting to Saruman. With pleasure, my prince. Archers, come forward. Volley! Grimbold, take Pendulous and attack from their flank while our riders harry them. We will cut through the brush on this side of the road, Pendulous, and attack our enemy's flank. So we're going to have to go on foot. This way, Pendulous, on foot. We don't have to literally get off our horse, but obviously we can't fight from horseback. So the riders are just going to run up and start spanking them. Look, the riders have begun their attack. Doing drive-bys. Right, come on, we need to get a move on. Grimbold, come on. Do you hear that, Pendulous? Something comes. Get ready. So we just have to spank these boys. That was not all of them, Pendulous. Stay alert. Come on, my friend. We need to proceed. Oh no, there's a couple more. So we have to make our way around, try and sneak behind the lines, and see what we can do. So I'm not sure if this is the last wave here. No, we're going to have another wave. More half-orcs approach. Oh, these ones are archers. Lovely. Archers from hiding. It's a gank from the bank. So, murdered these two boys. There we go. Here comes another. And it sounds like a big one. So we're going to have a signature. Nope. It's a Rohirrim. Grimbold. Pendulous. Rungar. We thought you were an enemy. Prince Theodred has routed the enemy. Victory is ours. Pendulous, Grimbold, come with me, and we will send them howling back into the Ring of Isengard. We will send them back to Saruman.
Our victory was short-lived. All was still as the gates of Isengard swung open. Out boiled a mighty force of Saruman's Uruks. They sought to surround us, and Theodred ordered a retreat.
Yeah, we prodded the hornet's nest, bee's nest, whatever. And many orcs have now arrived out the gates. We are outnumbered, Pendulous. The prince has ordered a retreat, but first we must survive this attack. Our riders have managed to net some of our foes. Attack the netted Uruks and keep them from breaking through. I will try to drive some of the others away. So, literally anyone that is in a net, They are passive until you start hitting them, but there will be a couple of other loose mobs around that you might need to deal with as well. Case in point, this fat orc behind us has decided to aggro on me. So yeah, just be aware there might be a couple of other nasty mobs around you. So we need to kill 3 nifty urks. This will be number 2. And we just need 1 more. So we just have to kill these guys and then we can kind of like do a staged retreat. We'll do a little staggered retreat. Falling back to various defensive lines. This is our chance. We have to retreat now. Are you pendulous? You are! We have to get out of here. Shouts of despair. Oh, something's ganked me. Shouts of despair and cries of terror rise from the pocket of Rohirrim, still fighting for their lives. The archer looks at you with fear in his eyes and throws his bow down in the dust. The day is lost. There are too many Urks. The men begin to break for the road back to the ford, and all sense of order is lost as the Urks gather on all sides. Die, whoever's ganking me. Are you in the wrong direction? There we go. What? What have we found? Or have we not found and it's just part 2? I think that was okay. Yeah, because it's midday, wasn't it? Now we're on afternoon. You study the maps placed on the table and consider Theodred's plan. If all goes well, the prince should have victory by afternoon. If all goes well. So it's kind of like you're flashing back, kind of back to the map table, and all the planning is occurring before all of the battles. So hop back inside.
We formed up between Theodred and our foes, fighting for our lives and his. There seemed to be no end to the orcs.
So as we can see, we're now halfway back down the road out of the Valley of Saruman, and a lot of men are dead, but we've taken a couple of Urks with us. This is far enough, Pendulous. Let us turn and face our pursuers. We must give Prince Theodred some time to move further south. We have to give Prince Theodred time to retreat, Pendulous. Here they come! So I have to spank these guys. Again, a couple of waves coming, so just have to quickly dispatch them. Do not give up hope! I don't think we get ganks from the side on this one, at least not yet anyway, so here we go. Yeah, just keep an eye on your morale. You might have a brief bit of time out of combat where you can quickly do some healing. Or if you've got some regen food, you can get some out of combat regen going between each fight to try and get some morale back. Die! Well, that one's actually attackable now. So we'll spank him. Hold the line, men! We must fall back! Hurry! Make your mind up. Grimbold said it, so Grimbold's in charge. More foes from the flank! Come on, Grimbold, you can help me. Do not let them through! Those guys didn't get the order that we're retreating. Fantastic. One more. Oh no, I can't attack this one. Fight off the attacking forces in order to buy Theodred precious time to retreat. Okay, we're fighting this one then. That guy's just going to keep Grimbold busy with some animations. Be done with you! There we go. Grimbold's actually been useful and killed something. Some of the other guys are starting to retreat. We're doing well, Pendulous. Every second we give Prince Theodred is a second unwasted. So long as we stand, Rohan stands with us. Oh no. Edwig has taken a grievous blow. The time for fighting is over. Run! So all the men on the line have been viciously murdered. So we're having various shots on the back line take out our men. We could, strictly speaking, mount up, but whatever. Everyone is now fleeing for their lives. So we've discovered the Pillar of the White Hand, which is this thing here. Which, as we can see, is a broken statue hand put on a pillar where it's been painted as if it's a bloody hand. And obviously it's a white hand representing the White Hand of Saruman. So if we speak to Grimbold, they will be on us in moments, Pendulous. Let me gather the men about us and ready them for this last assault. Gather to me! Saruman's hammer stroke will soon be upon us. Our prince has gotten to safety, but we cannot allow this force to reach him. Captain, a rider approaches. What? Captain, a second force of Uruks has come to the ford in secret. Kada has been driven back into Rohan. Prince Theodred is in danger. 1,000 curses upon Saruman. He sent a second force of Uruks to the ford on the other side of the river. We have to get back to the prince at once. Without Kada at the ford, Prince Theodred cannot drive them off with the few men he has in his party. We cannot die here. We have to get back to the ford at once to save Prince Theodred. He will be caught between the hammer and the anvil of Saruman.
The Uruks pursued us as we fled, and the riders Theodred left at the ford were driven away by their onslaught. The prince was forced onto the island in the middle of the river, attacked from both sides, and we could not reach him. All seemed lost.
Dun dun dun. And on that cliffhanger, I think we're going to end this episode. So if you haven't done this before, you're going to have to wait until next episode to find out what happens next. But I hope you guys have enjoyed that, and until then, I will see you guys next time.